yes. That's interestingly, by the way, cross-cultural, depending on how you present the dilemma, pretty much people respond the same way. 90% of people say yes. Then you switch into a second situation where you don't have the lever, you're on top of a bridge, there's this really bulky, big guy in front of you, and the only option you have is to push the guy off the bridge to save the 5 people. Question, would you do it? Most people answer no. Now, the interesting question there is, why would people answer, most people will answer yes to one and no to the other?
If you push the guy off the bridge, even though you're not going to get arrested for not saving people's lives. Does that come into play?
It does. Again, as I said earlier, that there's a lot of different variants of the thought experiment, and yeah, some of those do involve information about the consequences, and if you're, of course, what in moral philosophy it's called a consequentialist or utilitarian, you will take those into account as well. But the basic version doesn't include those, and it's one of the things that comes out interestingly, for instance, from the cognitive science literature, is that there is a small minority of people who do not change their mind, who both pull the lever and push the guy off the bridge. Turns out that psychologically speaking, those people correspond to a somewhat sociopathic profile. Mm-hmm. Because those are people that essentially do not engage with the amygdala. They don't engage with the emotional reaction. They just think rationally about the whole thing. The reason I brought that up is because, now we have an evolutionary account of how we got morality to begin with. We have a neurobiological account we begin to have a neurobiological account of how we actually engage in that sort of thinking. And all of this is very interesting. The thing that we still need to deal with, however, is, okay, in interesting, complex, real-life situations, what do we ought to do? And that, I think, is where the interesting philosophy comes in, because, of course, there are hundreds of years of discussions among philosophers that have been able to frame moral dilemmas according to 2 or 3 major ways of thinking about it. One is the one that I mentioned a minute ago,